Hey, it's been a while since we've chatted. Good to see you guys again. Well, sort of, right? You see me, I don't really see you. But hey, thanks for watching and wanted to share a new word with you to encourage you. I saw an angel here recently and he walked up to me and he looks like a typical angel, or, what I know to be typical, with their wings, long tunic, sandals, belt, golden belt, sword on the side. And he walked up to me, and in his hand he had what looked like dirt. And he just kind of had his hand out like this. And he had dirt going through his fingers. And he said this, he said, "Tell the Lord's people to be more pliable." And that was it. And he disappeared. And so I chewed on it for a few days and prayed about it for a few days. And I was really struck by the story about Jesus and talking about the seeds and how our heart represents seeds that he wants to plant, whether it be from the beginning in salvation, or it be about having our heart positioned to hear what he wants us to hear. So I wanted to show you something. I have this little bit of land here, little patch in my yard that's all just filled with rocks. And the Lord really led me to this after I had that experience with the angel, that this is a condition of a lot of our hearts. Little tiny plants can grow, a little seed got in there and a weed grew, but it can't really support a big tree anymore, hence the stump being torn down, because it's so rocky and it's so filled. And those rocks really, they kind of represent the cares of this world, right? If we're carrying worry or fear, if we're not lined up and trusting what God has to say in his word, then that fear can crowd out our heart and it actually chokes out our ability to grow. So what he had me do is actually excavate part of that land, ripped out all the rocks. It was very painstaking. I ripped it all out and I stripped it down bare. You ever been through a stripping process with God? It hurts, doesn't it? Well, I stripped it down bare, and when I stripped it down bare, the first thing I did was put stinky manure in there. Ever had stinky stuff come into your life? Yeah. So when I put the stinky manure in there, I planted some seeds of a grass to grow, and I wanted just to test to see if it was going to grow in now this new tilled up soil. Sometimes God allows pressures to come into our life, even stinky things to come into our life, because he wants to create dependency within us so that we will have him remove the hardened places so we can be soft and see growth. So check this out. Remember this? Well, look next door. I planted a little tiny seed, and now look what's growing. A big tall grass. Isn't that cool? Now this grass is still very young, and it's actually going to turn to be about 6 to 10 feet when it's all said and done. And that was just by removing a few rocks and planting one of these little tiny seeds in there. Think about what God's planted in you recently. Have you let the world choke it out? Have you let worry and fear choke it out? Or are you trusting that in his word, when it says that his word is sharper than a two-edged sword, even cut between our marrow and our bone, are you trusting him to do that scalpel work within you? That fine work to cut through that fine part of your heart so that he can plant the seed in you to grow something that you are way more abounding than that silly little rock. Doesn't quite compare in size, does it, when you hold it up to the big grass? Let go of your worries and fears so he can birth a new thing within you. All right, much love. Talk to you soon.